Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with ReadyNet. Today's host is Bill Pedersen, Voice Product Director. He'll be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to submit them in the question box, and Bill will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Thank you, Bill, for being with us today. I am finished, and now you can take it over.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. And thanks, everyone, for joining today's little webinar. I hope you gain a lot from this presentation. We're going to just cover one product today, and this is one of my kind of pet projects that I am working on here at ReadyNet, and I am very, very excited about this product. This product has really taken off and has really gained some market acceptance in the industry for all kinds of just different applications. And the product I'm talking about is the LTE 520. This is our 4G LTE wireless router that can operate in a number of different ways. It can act as a primary, you can have a primary internet service into it and use the LTE as a backup, or you can use it as a primary LTE router. There are some differences that separate us out from within the industry from other competitive products that are out there. And we're going to kind of go over a couple of things and talk about those things. So if you have questions, feel free to type them in. We'll go through those at the end. And since I'm kind of doing a screen share here, we're going to do a couple of demonstrations as well, too, to show you a couple of performance features on this. Now, I got to tell you this. My office here at ReadyNet, all my phones, my router, my computer, everything's LTE. Everything is set up LTE. So not only do I, preach about the great products, I'm actually eating the dog food, so to speak, too. And you'll appreciate that when you understand the various applications. So where's some good applications for an LTE 520? I can use this thing in a small business, a restaurant, home office type environment, kiosks, residential applications, or where I need what I would call, I need a true connect, and I apologize for that. My daughter is calling me, and she's on hold. But where I need true internet connectivity at all times. So where I've got POS terminals, I'm doing security, or I got to make sure I've got internet. This is a great little product to have. So currently today, we work on the AT&T network and the T-Mobile network. Future dates will come out for Verizon. I'm thinking that may be later this year. As we get more information, we'll keep our customers posted on that. But fantastic. So what I've got here is this just kind of I've just got a PDF data sheet. I'm not going to read you the entire data sheet during this thing, but just, highlight some of the key differentiations between us and our competition. And there's really what I would call two major differences. And one of them is we have two SIP ports built onto the into the router that can support faxes, POTS, or not POTS line, but a voice line in place of a POTS line, and be used for alarm lines. They can be used for postage meters. I'm just running through a few that I know my customers are running. Or anywhere you'd need a typical POTS line for an application within a business, you can run these SIP services. Fully T.38 fax compatible support on that. It has 4 integrated 10100 fast Ethernet ports, auto negotiates, and then 1 fast D for your WAN connection as well also. Built-in firewall. The other major thing that is differentiates, this is a fully managed router. So I can remotely manage this device from within the cloud. And that gives you some really good visibility on what's going on within the network and how you can add more value-added services to your customers as well also. So with that all said, I'll just kind of scroll down. This is just kind of some of the different general specs. You can actually pull this data sheet off of our website. If you go to ReadyNetSolutions.com and go to products under the service provider area, there'll be a tab for LTE 520. You can download it and you can drive this, details right down to what you're looking for in that. And you've always got us as a resource here at ReadyNet to talk about your applications or some of the things that you're looking for. The other thing is we have a 2x2 300 megabit per second 802.11 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi in it. These antennas right here are external for LTE signaling, and we have internal Wi-Fi antennas inside the router. So I'm going to pop over to another screen here, and I'm going to go into the administration portal of this router here. And I love doing live demos because it always catches everyone off guard. You never know what you're going to get. But as we remote into this router, these are the same bits of information you'll receive through RN control through the management. But you can see a little bit, we're just on the status page here. But this is kind of a critical piece right here. The LTE status shows I'm active, got all my information here, my signal strength, which is really good, my carrier, and it shows that right here that I'm registered with T-Mobile right now. Also gives me some history on some data rates, what I'm sending and receiving on my SIM services as well. Below, you have the SIP account status. So FXS1 and FXS2, do I show that they're registered? Currently, right now, I do not have those ports provisioned at this time. But if you were to register those would show enabled and active, and then also the status of those devices as well also. The other information is just general network information for the LAN, WAN, and some wireless information as well also. But with that said, okay, what kind of performance can I typically see? Well, let's just go to our speedtest.net site. And let's see what comes up. Okay, you can see my T-Mobile. There's my IP address of what I'm registering for. And we're going to go ahead and begin the test here. And while this runs, of course, you're familiar with it's going to run a ping and then your downloads and upload speeds on it as well, too. And you kind of get some ideas of what to expect. Now, not all LTE routers, your customers are going to experience the same connectivity. And I say this because a lot of people say, oh, well, you just showed me, you had, well, look at that, almost 44 megabytes download. And I'm only getting 10 or 12. It really is going to depend on location. And you definitely want to be able to do a site survey and, and see if there's something a little bit better that they would like to, depending on the location of the router. Those are the two biggest ones. But right here in my office, you see almost a 44 by 11 meg with a 33 ping. I can run my entire office in here off of that and be perfectly fine. In fact, I have, just kind of give you a scenario, I've got 2 IP phones and my computer. And what else is in here? Yep, and my computer, they're running off this one LTE. So I go from the LTE router, I'm just going into an 8-port switch on the back of the LAN connections on the LTE router. And I got 2 Polycom phones, one VVX 500 and one VVX 400 here in front of me. And then I do all my other testing and for all of our other ATA products and our other router products, we'll put those in AP mode or in repeater mode, and I'm testing off this LTE network just to kind of get an idea of, okay, what would be a good typical end customer experience be. But yeah, so great information. Of course, you know, you have all your wireless settings that you just go into and set up as need. You've got your 2 FXS ports, go and provision those. You've got some security applications as well. And under the administrative applications, we can also go in under Tier 069, and this is where we tie in with ReadyNet Solutions ACS server that we can go in and manage this devices. We also have some diagnostics as well. We can run ping tests and trace routes to various locations if we need to, and this is all within ReadyNet's RN Control ACS services as well also. So with that said, I'm going to kind of leave it at there. There's about 10 minutes worth of information. Any questions, Julie, that you've seen? I've kind of got my window closed here, so I'm not seeing the questions pop up, but maybe you can, we can go through a couple of those at this time.
Thank you very much, Bill, for that wonderful presentation. And yes, I do have a view of the question box, so I will go ahead and ask them for you. I'm going to start here with the first one. The question here that says, does it offer remote battery backup? I have recent projects where they need to make sure the router runs regardless of power. If not, do we have anything we are working on?
So that is a great question, and I hear that one a lot. We are looking at adding a battery module to a future upcoming product. But currently this product is AC and does not have a battery backup option. So I would go look at your local hardware store. APC, I think the 75 series is a really good UPS that this thing could run on for a very, very long time. I need to double check and see what the usage is. But from what I've been told, you can at least get probably 2 days just off of an APC 75 and running it plugged into that. So when people ask for, okay, I need battery backup, what should I do? I kind of rely on their existing network. What do they currently have in place, and how are they supporting it for power in event of a power outage? And if they can utilize that, great. If it is a small office, home office type environment, absolutely go out and buy an APC or any other. I'm not promoting APC, it's just one I'm familiar with. Go buy one of those surge suppression battery backup units from there that they can plug their other devices in as well and utilize that. I hope that helps you out there. Okay, next question.
Thank you very much, Bill. Yes, I've got another one for you here. With the 2 SIP ports, do you have a list of what we can run off of it?
A list of what you can run? Oh, a list of devices that you can run off of it? I believe so, yes. Is maybe the questions. You know, I don't have a list per se. But I can tell you I've got alarm companies that are using it to remote in or for outbound notifications of intrusion detection. I have, let's see, well, of course, voice services if you need it, fax services as well. If they're still using the old traditional all-in-one type printers for a fax machine. I even have customers that are using it for postage meters as well. And so they don't, you know, postage meters might only get recharged maybe bi-weekly or once a month. They don't need, you know, they don't want to pay for a dedicated line, you know, to come in to recharge their postage meter. So they'll usually negotiate with their service provider to say, hey, give me a SIP trunk that I can use, and, you know, it's a toll-free number that they're calling anyway. So usage is not, I mean, the data path that goes through it's so minimal that, they can usually get away from, with it for about 10, 15 bucks a month. Some carriers will say, well, we'll just give it to you for free, if we pick up your voice services. Let's see, what else would be plugged into it? Now you caught me on the spot on that one. Those are the ones that come off the top of my mind. I have not run into an issue where I've seen someone try to use an ATA port as a replacement for their POTS line. So, that's something, I'd be more than glad to follow up with you on. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me or to Julie, and we can work with you on there. If there's something that you've got in mind that's more specific that I haven't touched on yet.
No, thank you very much, Bill. Yes, and the sales rep who answered that question can definitely communicate with you more on that. So no problem there.
You bet.
Okay, terrific. I've got another question here for you. Okay. Can this device partner with other controller devices and work together to present reports? I have equipment that has its own built-in controller, but I'm sure they would love to access the router on the same dashboard of the other equipment.
I think I understand that question. I will take a stab at it, and if I'm off on the wrong direction, just chime in and let Julie know that stop. But I think what you're asking for is the ability to gather information from the router and have it show up on a different type of screen or platform in your own NOC environment. And the answer is, well, let me explain to it a little bit more of how we do this. Under TR-69, that's the protocol we use. It's a standards-based protocol that a lot of all your major carriers, voice carriers, use to communicate information from the router to their system, to their computer. And how it's done is it actually registers and talks to an ACS server initially. And then what we do is we take that information from the ACS server and we present it onto a screen from a web portal that makes it somewhat intelligible. So to answer your question, yes, the router does register to an ACS server. Currently, all of our routers registers to ReadyNet ACS servers. If you, as a service provider, have your own ACS servers, which is very, very common, we will provide you with the API information that then you can build within your own portal, so you can extrapolate that information from your ACS server and make it presentable or intelligible to read and to support your customer. So I may have answered it in a roundabout way, but the bottom answer is yes, we can support you from an ACS perspective to have that information come across to your own servers. Our intention with our ACS servers is to help smaller service providers compete better against the big boys on the block, so to speak, that they can actually access the routers and monitor the routers and customer service issues before having to roll a truck or send out replacement equipment. I'm going to say 45 bucks an hour. A truck roll is probably going to cost anywhere between 1.5 to 2 hours for that technician to go on site to do the troubleshooting. If we can bring that indoors into your service center, into your call center, and have your customer support take care of it, we're finding out it's a huge cost savings and better customer experience, and it's going to ultimately save the company costs in going out there maybe on something that they don't need to go out onto. And we'll present that product solution in a future episode of our training videos.
Thank you very much, Bill. Can you email us or me a copy of this data sheet, and then I can forward it to those who are interested?
Oh, absolutely. You bet. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Okay, Bill, can you talk to us a little bit about your customer service and or tech support services?
Customer service and or tech support service. So we have a 24/7 tech support group. I wish I had the number memorized, but I could probably go to our website and pull that up. That if you run into issues, you can call that number. They'll assign a trouble ticket. You'll have an engineer assigned to you. And they handle probably, I'm going to say 98% of all the issues. If there's something that comes that they can't handle, then they'll escalate that internally to another engineering group, our tier 1 support group, and they'll give you, they'll probably get back to you within probably just a few hours to help solve your problems.
Bill, thank you very much for answering all those questions for us this morning, and thanks for everyone for attending today. And if there are any other questions, yes, absolutely. Please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if anyone wishes to view any of the products mentioned, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And remember, this webinar presentation is being recorded, and it will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel. So if you'd like to reference the webinar again, you can view it on YouTube. Thank you so much, Bill, for your presentation. We very much enjoyed it, and thank you, everyone, for being a member of our audience today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye now.